8:20 a.m. on this Saturday morning, February 21st, 2026. I decided to do a short recording while I'm out here. And basically it's a follow-up to this morning's earlier recording pertaining to the snow. Okay? And what is in the snow. Now, if you have not watched that video, then more than likely you have not, of course, clicked on to the link that was provided in the description below that said video, okay? But I like I said, I want to continue on with that little bit of narrative through the video that I had provided the link to. And that pertains to the factor of these antidepressants that's being found within the snow. Now, when it comes down to the animal life, and which I, not too long ago, had recorded one of the blue jays that was up here in the tree that was actually eating the snow, in which they rely on the snow during the wintertime for a source of hydration. Now, antidepressants, of course, creates a calming sense to the mentality of humans. And in fact, will fog the mind, if you will, okay? In which there has been quite the significant reports of people having these foggy conditions within their thought processes, okay? Now then, how does it affect the wild or even feral animals? Could it in fact have an adverse effect? Now you have to think about that, because there's been many movies out there, which of course, oh, looky here, we have a new visitor. Oh, looky there. What a surprise. And this might have been who had been digging in the ground out here. And here I just spoke of, the possums and raccoons in a previous recording. But yep, it's out searching for food. And here, this morning I come out here and there's been multiple digging that's been taking place. Okay? But anyways, an adverse effect to the animals, in which, like I said, there's been many Hollywood movies to where animals just go stir crazy for whatever reasons. And one of the earliest examples that I can recall of a movie scenario pertaining to animals is The Day of the Animals from 1977, in which they begin attacking people because of the depletion of the ozone layer. And I could go further into that in regards to the predictive programming through the series known as Stargate SG-1, to where they end up going to a planet that, well, for you flat earthers out there, this planet actually had a dome. Okay, a protective dome. And these people were fitted with a type of connection to an artificial intelligence system, to where they were not realizing that certain family members, and let's not do it, buddy. Okay? You're not going to do it. Certain family members would be forgotten because this dome would shrink, and anybody that would be caught outside of the dome, to where it was the natural planet, which was a dead planet, they would simply forget through this artificial intelligence factor. And we have an aircraft that is flying overhead currently, as always. And as far as I am concerned, once again, and I'm not a believer in the flat earth theories, but what if we are under a shrinking dome? Because after all, throughout the evidences of history, we have gone from very large creatures of existence to what we have today. Yeah, I know your games, buddy. So anyways, I'm just throwing some more thoughts out there for people to ponder and a little bit more sources of, well, I don't want to say information, but, references that might make you go, just that much more, okay? And once again, that was Day of the Animals, 1977. And I don't know the name or the title to the episode of Stargate SG-1 to where it was this situation of this shrinking dome. But again, I'm just tossing out some stuff for you people to think about. And, on the situation with all this stuff that is being spread about in the air and all the technologies that is being used, because it's not just chemtrailing, people. There's so much more that is and has been going on for a very long time. So anyways, as these birds continue to come in, I did decide to put out a little bit of seed this morning, but of course, in doing so, right away, it's, playtime for these cats, at least for this one here. And you can see he is scoping on the birds, wanting to attack, and I am going to remedy this situation right now. And of course, what I do won't last for very long, because this cat just does everything in its power to gain my attention. And it's doing it in all the wrong ways, and like I said before, much akin to what children do, And of course, already it's caused complications as far as recording any of the bird activities, because now, they're all about me, but not wanting to come in, even though there's been seed provided in the tree and they have taken notice of that. But as further evidence as the possible adverse effects of antidepressants among the wildlife, well, I have shown how I've been getting reamed out by these animals for not following through with providing food items that they get used to. Yeah, and of course they do not like to be on camera for very strange reasons, and I believe it's because they can sense something or possibly even see something emanating from this phone device. Just that much more to think about, people. That's all, I ponder a great many thoughts, especially through my observations. So already we have cats that have come to the feeding table. Still some that are here, but you know, they leave as quickly as what they come up. And we are to be, according to the meteorological reports, under cloudy conditions all day. I have not seen anything about any further precipitation for today. But as I stated once again in previous content, you know, even though we had this very warm day, we always get blasted by one last round of winter scenarios. And thing is, once again, you know, throughout this whole winter season, I have been taking notice of the budding of the trees, new growth to the foliage on the ground, and what is this actually doing to all this new growth, one might ask. Okay? And yeah, alright, we are over 11 minutes long. I'd like to continue recording because, well, we have had, once again, the cats departing from the premise, and the birds are wanting to come up, and I don't want to interrupt with that case scenario. I'm not sure how long we're supposed to be having these conditions sticking around, but I'm headed downtown to stock up on a few things. Plus, I have to get to the post office to send out some bills before they should close, which on Saturdays they have much shorter hours than during the week, and it's bad enough that they've shortened their hours during the week over the last year or two, give or take. So have I given you people plenty to think about or to ponder? Well, I hope so, because the more you know. And again, we have the cats wandering off as they've gotten their morning fill. This will be a day to where, of course, I'll be out here at least a couple of more times. Whether I record any further, I don't know, because I am really getting tired of posting content, especially due to the factor that so much of my content, my past content, or the content throughout the whole history of this channel, has been validated to a high degree, and I couldn't be more pleased. And I like to leave off on a favorable note, if you will. And I think I'm going to do just that. I'm quite content with this recording this morning, as well as my previous recording. Oh, and we have a woodpecker that is rat-a-tat-tatting somewhere out here. Of course, you know, it's times like this to where I want to keep recording short, but just like those jet aircraft overhead, when I try to keep recordings limited, and they just keep providing that much more as they continue to fly overhead, one seemingly right after another. And this is one of those mornings to where, well, surprise, surprise, you know, we get the possum, we get the cardinal, we got the blue jays, we got the juncos, we got the sparrows, and of course the cats, and yours truly. So, I do believe, well, you hear I do believe this is good. And, well, because of that, I am DUNN done. And this is Skywise OWT out. Have a great one. Thanks for watching. Take care, one and all. Join up with me again if I do happen to post more content.